It's time for another YouTuber race, and it's at the end of this week, so I better get cracking. Unlike the last race that was geared towards Mr. Talbot winning, using his favourite two-wheel drive buggy at his favourite track, with his favourite pro tuning it for him.
Ask me for any setup tips.
No, you've got a man who knows though, right?
Yeah.
Do you want to give him a shout out?
I'm not allowed. Yeah, okay, like hush hush.
Okie dokie.
Well, he's not got that advantage this time. So hopefully I might have more chance of, well, at least getting in front for a lap or two. Now this race has been kindly supported by Tamiya. Thank you very much, Tamiya. They have sent all of us, or Poplar RC, Talbot, Claire's RCs, Noah's RC, Vinny. Don't know if anyone else is turning up. I nearly forgot, and Gav from RC Kicks. He's the one who actually organised it all with Tamiya, so big shout to Gav over at RC Kicks for sorting this out. They basically sent out 8 of these TTO2s, which are all the same. The rules are it has to be completely stock, apart from a controlled tyre, which is the Contact RC A30, and are allowed to fit bearings. I think there's no restriction on the body shell other than it has to be a Tamiya. I am planning on using the Audi one, however it's off being painted at the moment, and I don't know whether it's going to get back in time, but I will find one to go on if that doesn't come back. Right, the TTO2 is a very basic shaft-driven four-wheel drive chassis. I think Tamiya wanted us to make sure that they were given some airtime. That's extra weight. I'll be taking them off. We don't want extra weight. If you want to get into racing, there's lots of different classes you can get into, and you can race the TTO2. You can modify it. You don't have to race it stock. Very affordable chassis. Loads of hop-ups for it. Loads of tuning parts for it. So yeah, ideal. This one comes with a torque tune motor, which I think is a little bit faster than a stock silver can, but we've all got the same, and it's on a track that none of us, I think Vinny might have raced there, but the rest of us haven't raced there. So this is going to be a fair one. And my money's on Poplar RC winning, because I'm pretty sure they race TTO2s or TTO1s. So yeah, I think one of them is going to win. I'm going to get this built. I'm not going to record a building of a TTO2 chassis. There's probably 2 million of them on YouTube already. So I'm just going to get this built up. Then we're going to talk about wheels and tyres. And then we're going to talk about a few little things I'm going to do to try and give me a little bit more of an advantage over maybe some of the others. Without cheating, of course.
I always cheat.
Da-da-da! Here it is. All done. They're not the wheels that are going to be going on. They're the spare one. We'll talk about that in a minute. But it is all finished and working. So running all the stock out of the box stuff, transponders in there and the receivers down there, but stock ESC, cut the leads right down so it's nice and neat in there, tidied it all up. I'm using this from Reedy, the Wolf Pack.
So there were two of us in the Wolf Pack. I was alone first in the pack, and then Doug joined in later.
A few little tweaks I've made then to give it, maybe, I don't want to say give it the edge, because I need to be able to drive it more than anything, but just to give it the best chance. Bit of weight saving at the back, so there's no rear bumper on it. Don't need a rear bumper on it. That saves, I don't know, 10, 12 grams maybe. Same on the front, the bit that holds this on, don't need that. That's not going to come off. I can always glue it if need be. So again, a few more grams saved. We'll cut these down when the body arrives. Got a slimline Savox servo there. Again, a little bit of weight saving. Battery's quite light as well. Lubed and greased all I can. Front diff has got pretty much all the Tamiya greases in the front diff. So you can see the rear is quite a bit looser. For a four-wheel drive touring car, you need a little bit more diff up the front. I've gone old school with the motor and broken it in. Something that a lot of people say you don't need to do that, but look how dirty that water was. So motor's been broken in, adjusted my end points. You don't get loads of steering on this, but everyone's gonna be in the same boat. So, and then that is it. That is all you got. So just gotta wait for the body. Now the last little thing I've done, the control tyre is the A30s. No one said anything about wheels. I think all the other guys have bought the pre-mounted wheels and tyres. I bought the tyres separately so I can mount them on the stock wheels. One, so they look better, and two, these ones, you can reverse them so you get a little bit more offset, which gives you a tiny bit more track. So a little bit wider. They look good, didn't they? Little tip for the tyres, when they come out the bag, they've got like a release kind of powder on them, like a release agent for when they're moulded. Get a flame, get some heat on there, and it gets it right off. All I've got to do now is get it on a bit of carpet just to get these tyres bedding so it gets rid of that ridge, and then I think we're ready to race. Fingers crossed the body arrives. I have got a replacement. What I'm going to do while I wait for the body is put some carpet down in the workshop, make sure this goes straight, get these tyres bedding a little bit, and well, yeah, good to go. So there's a really bad steering design on it. Well, I say bad, it's a entry level, isn't it? It's got like end stops on the arms, but before it even hits the end stops, this bit hits onto there. I don't know if that's designed as another like end stop, but bangs on there. So you don't get much steering at all. I'm gonna take a bit of material off there, and I don't care if it's cheating. It's not adding anything away from stock, is it? There we go, it is dialed in now. It's still not great, the steering, but taking some material out of that bit to stop it binding up, removed the servo and re-trimmed it all, so it's almost going perfectly straight now. Full throttle, just sits nice and straight. That is what you want. Dialed. Look at that. Oh yeah. This has turned out so cool. I wanted to go for box art, but I wanted my team colours, as quite a few of my things are. So you get the idea. Painted by my buddy Shark Fat. It's not a really complicated design, but I'm rubbish at painting. And that is paint, not a sticker. These are the stickers, the lights and the grille, but the rest is paint, and it looks awesome. So if it doesn't perform great, or I don't perform great, oh, I've tinted the front lights as well, so they're clear behind there, but I put a little bit of smoke on there. Same as the windows, but just a couple of layers because I wanted that smoked out look. Anyway, even if I don't do very well, which is highly possible, at least it looks good. Right, my final little hack, apart from leaving the wing mirrors off, because, you know, a bit more streamlined, a bit more speed. My final hack, which I don't think breaks the rules because we had to build it as it comes in the box. This is a little bit that I've trimmed off from the moulding. Where the moulding comes around, it always sticks out a bit. So I've trimmed it off, trimmed it down. I've heard that the rear downforce on these aren't great. I've put some of the sticky pads that come in the kit. I'm going to stick this, well, I might do, I might not. I'm going to stick that on there, which hopefully will act a little bit like a rear wing, which may give it a bit more downforce. Genius, I know. Anyway, the race is in 2 days. Wish me luck, and I'll see you there. So the venue for this race was the Cambridge RC Circuit Car Club, the CRCCCC. So a big shout out to them for hosting this event. A nice compact track. There was some GT12 racing as well, so they widened the track for us, which is probably a good thing. It's just eyeing up the track. Do it going around in your head, yeah? Just going left. Left. Right. What we got there? Where's the, that's not a bad track. Not around there. Around there. That's not a bad track. That looks like quite a good track, doesn't it?
I'm filming you.
Cheat. Cheat, they're not stock. Sure, is it a normal one, not a high voltage one?
Oh no, that's a
normal one.
Well, I was using a little shorty packs.
Ah, those 7.6 volt shorty packs.
No, they weren't 7.6 volt. They were.
Do you know what?
7.4.
They were definitely 7.6 volt batteries because they're the ones out of my MTC I noticed you'd nabbed.
Yeah. Well, even if they were, they don't make any difference, do they?
You're such a bender.
Yeah, diff feel alright. Definitely cheating on that though. Right, come on, take your body off over here. Get that body off. Oh, we've got another cheat here, look. Cheat. Oh yeah, you kept that right. See, I don't have scrutineers apart from me. There we go. You fan, heat sinks and fans. RC kicks here.
Can't see that as
hang on.
technical.
Hang on.
Have you felt that?
Hang on, let's feel. Yeah, hang on. Yeah, definitely cheating. Yeah, cheat. Definitely. Yeah, look, he's locked it. Look, no, that's not how it came. Look, he's cheating there, isn't he? Right, cheat. No heat sink and fan like you guys though, so. Everything else looks alright. Oh look, he's cut the tabs off. Cheat. Don't look at mine. Mine's been sabotaged in my car. Look. I would not leave a wheel nut loose.
Definitely wouldn't leave two loose, would you?
And the front one. I need to check everything else on it now. You let the air out my tyres. It's a drift track.
Yeah? Oh, you not put additive on it?
Yeah. Really? Yeah. Slippery, isn't it?
Yeah, these times have got no grip at all. Same with my steering here.
Yeah, you're driving it.
You go one way, it goes one way then the other.
Come on, Captain Slow.
I can't let you go down the straight, it just goes left and right, left and right. Straight there.
All I'm hearing is excuses. What servo you got in there?
Eco boost.
Oh, well, there you go. That's your problem, isn't it? You got an AliExpress servo and a Dumbo RC radio. After a little bit of practice and realising that the cars slide around a bit, we got straight into heat 1. Well, I say heat 1, it's heat 3. And as you can see, Kev made his intentions very clear very early on. Game over.
Game over.
Kevin! Oh, what you done? Oh, you're not. Is that your bump or mine?
I don't know.
50 minutes. 7, 3, 4. 5, 1, 2, 8, 6. Leader on lap 10.
Sorry, not sorry.
Game over.
Ah, no, again, alright.
Oh, Vinny!
That wasn't on purpose.
And
That wasn't on purpose. I wasn't on accident.
No. Look what this hooligan done to my body. Look, they're all his tyre
No, hold
marks.
on.
They're all your
If,
tyre marks.
if that was me, that would be on the side or the back. That
No.
means that you're the one being aggressive.
No. So heat 3 of round 1 ended with Vinny at the top. Second was Carl from Popalong. Third was Mark, and then there was me in 4th. And then Kev was 5th, although he was 3 laps behind me. Then it was Gav. Then it was Ian from Claire's RCs. And unfortunately, Noah only got 1 lap in on that. He had some issues, so he managed to get out in the next one, though. So just interrupting the action to let you know that you too could own a Tamiya TT02 Audi V8 edition. I'm too attached to this thing now to give it away, and I want to maybe do a few upgrades to it, put like oil shocks on it, get it set up properly for some TT02 racing. So you're not having mine, but if you want a brand new boxed one, I want you to do 3 things, and then I will give this to someone in the comments. The first thing you got to do is like this video. You got to do that now. You've also got to be subscribed to the channel. Then all you need to do is put Tamiya in the comments, either within one of your comments or just write Tamiya. That's all you got to do, and then at some point in June I will pick someone and I'll send you this, and maybe a t-shirt as well. Now all change for round 2 of heat 3. This was again absolute carnage.
Start order. 7, 4.
It's a rolling start.
7, 4, 3, 5, 2, 1. 8.
Literally. Maybe wasn't the tyre. I've done over some glitching or what it is. It won't even go down the straight. No, go down the straight.
7, 5, 3, 4, 1, 6, 2, 3,
Come on.
It's a 30-yard free kick with a 20-yard run-up.
Dear, I don't believe it! What a goal we have just seen!
Vinny again first, then it was Mark from Popalong, then it was me coming in 3rd, then it was Noah's RC, had a really good run, then it was Carl from Popalong, then Gav, then Kev, and then Ian from Claire's RCs. And Kev again only managed 15 laps. He was having real issues with his car and he was letting everyone know about it. Listen to the excuses. What happened there, Talbot? I thought you got your race tyres on. What was wrong with it?
Well, 1 minute it goes like that, the next minute it's going like that.
You got a cheapo servo in there.
No, you've got a Vortex.
Cheapo.
Team of mine.
I'll tell you what your problem is, it's this. That's your problem.
It might well be.
Dumbo RC.
Might well be.
Now on to round 3, heat 3, and I had an issue. After 9 laps, I lost drive. It took me a while to figure out what it was, but I think what happened, it got that hot that the Loctite I put on the pinion grub screw had melted and it kind of pushed it off of the motor shaft. Oh, hang on. Dodgy grub screw. Good to go. Anyway, again, change round. Mark from Popalong got that one with 22 laps. Then it was Vinny, then Carl from Popalong. Kev came in 4th. He picked up 5 laps there from his previous 2 efforts with 20 laps. Then it was Noah coming in 5th. Then it was Ian from Claire's RCs. Then it was Gav. And then, yeah, me with only 9 laps. Although Gav only managed 11 as well, so I think he had some issues. My DNF in round 3 unfortunately pushed me back to 5th in the first final. There was 2 legs of the final. Leg 1. I started 5th and Talbot managed to pit me into 4th.
Look at Vinny at the front. So what are you lot on? You lot all 2S? 8S. 8S?
Castle.
Number
X.
It's all 2S.
Yeah.
Oh, what's mine doing?
Catching fire? Hopefully.
It's a cheat there, he's on 3S.
Oh no, the boss said it's allowed.
I got focused. I just mumbled to myself, slow is fast, slow is fast. There was lots of carnage around. As you can see, Kev had lots of issues and I managed to bully my way up to 3rd place. So Vinny first again, then it was Mark from Popalong, then it was me 3rd, then it was Carl from Popalong 4th, Gav 5th, Noah's RC 6th, Kevin Talbot 7th, and then Ian from Claire's RCs 8th. Let's just take a moment to see Kev fixing his own car. Look, he's doing it all himself.
Not be growing up, boy.
Cheat mode activated. Rear wing. Are we going to get more corner speed? All I had to do in this final was make sure I finished in front of Carl from Popalong, or at least finish 4th if he was 3rd, because there was a chance I could be 3rd overall. Didn't start too great, dropped back a few places. But I was 6th or 7th at one point throughout this final. Managed again to bully my way through a little bit. Gav had a few issues, Kev had a few issues, Noah had a few issues. And I managed to push my way up to 4th. However, Carl from Popalong was about half a lap in front of me, so I just had to keep going, keep putting in the laps and keep my fingers crossed that I'd make 3rd place overall.
Take it to the next lap, guys.
What a race. Not as good, but what a race.
So in 3rd place, quite close here for 3rd and 4th, Carl has won it. Tied on points. Just on grid position was the tie break. So Carl, well done. Yay. Finalists. 4th place was Phil Tomley.
Yeah.
5th was Gavin.
Hey.
6th was Kevin.
Boom.
7 was Noah.
Hey.
8 was Claire's Ian.
Regardless of the results, that was an absolutely awesome morning's racing. Loved this thing, loved all the carnage as well. I didn't mention in the video, but my spoiler, I don't think it made a massive amount of difference. Although I didn't have a great time on the final race and I had to try and fight my way back from like 7th to 4th. Maybe with a bit more time on there, I'd have known whether it made a difference. But anyway, what an absolutely awesome race. Can't recommend it enough. If you want to get into racing, this is a relatively cheap option to get into it, and it was loads of fun. Anyway, the results. So Vinny sat there at the top. I think he pretty much won every heat apart from one where I think it was Mark that won it from Popalong. Very good racer, very clean, managed to keep out of most of the trouble, nice consistent laps, and that's what wins your races. He has raced there before, and he does race touring cars. I don't know if he's got a TTA1 or a TTA2. Credit where credit's due, he done very well. Mark came second, Carl came third from Popalong. I kind of called it at the start, I thought that they'd win, but Vinny stepped in there and took their win away from them. Although Mark was first on the second leg of the final, and as I showed you that quick clip there was a little bit of carnage on like the third to last corner and he dropped back to second. Vinny first, Mark second, Carl from Popalong third, and me fourth. All three of them above me are regular club racers, so I think I did pretty well. Now, so we're just going to concentrate on the biggest rule breakers. We all made a few tweaks, but had to be box stock. The only aftermarket stuff we were allowed to do was bearings and wheels and tyres. Other than that, it had to be everything that was within this box. Yes, I may have bent the rules a little bit like a few others did, trimming a few bits and that, but everything I did was within this box. Adding a heatsink and fan was definitely not in the rules. I'd say Vin is disqualified, Mark's disqualified, Carl is disqualified, which means I won. And as for Mr. Talbot, well,